So the market sold off again. In today's video, we're going to address what to expect tomorrow. We're also going to be looking at one stock that is about to make a huge move tomorrow and why you should keep it in your watch list. Y'all, let's dive into the charts right off the bat. Let's go with the NASDAQ. Yeah, we got the NASDAQ once again. And so far, so bearish. The bears are still in control of the market. I honestly thought this would be the bottom. I did. I thought 20,400 would be the bottom from Friday. We ended up opening higher, which looked like a good sign. And then later during the day, the market sold off because of this. The same structure again as Thursday. Let me clean up the chart. That way y'all can really see what's going on. This is another bearish pennant that occurred in the middle of the day. The way it dropped was a little bit different than Thursday, but the outcome was still the same, right? We got short sellers piling in here, and instead of just going down immediately and reaching the bottom right here, it dragged its feet and then had another drop during power hour and got to the same place anyways. All right, comparing that again, I'm gonna zoom out. This is today, and then this is Thursday right here. Same structure, similar, not same, similar pathway, but same outcome. All right, is it going to go down even further? I think there's going to be, this is what I think for tomorrow. I think there's going to be some rotation of money. And what I mean by that is when you compare like the indices themselves, this one, that gap got filled on the left from the 5th of November. That got filled already. All right. When we go on to the QQQ, that also almost got filled completely today. There's still like maybe one more dollar. All right, now the third major indices, which is the Dow Jones, that one has room to fill. Like it has a gap to fill at like 425. I think that that's going to get filled tomorrow. I do. So watch the Dow Jones stocks for a continuation down, just so that this one can get taken care of before we see a bounce. This is a bearish engulfing candle on the right between Friday and today. Bearish, the combination of these two candles, bearish engulfing candle. And typically what happens is a continuation down because the bears are taking over again. All right, so something like that wouldn't surprise me for the Dow Jones specifically, but for everything else like QQQ and SPY, like it might be a doji, they might be a little bit positive, but for the Dow Jones, I think this is gonna have to get taken care of before we bounce. Now, the stock for tomorrow that I think is gonna make a big move, huge move, that stock is BABA. All right, now I want to share BABA with y'all for one simple reason. I've been sharing with you guys throughout the past few days. I told y'all about BABA. This is the third time actually that I'm making a video on BABA, and all of them have been bearish, right? Starting with the first time I tried to short it, and then the next opportunity that happened, which was again my first attempt here, and then L. All right, second attempt here, a win, and our third attempt is when this one is going to be a big move down. Third attempt was today. I took puts on it today. I do. I'm gonna show y'all right now. That was the trade for today. I am holding it for tomorrow. Why? Because of the bearish engulfing candle. No, because of the descending. Because of the bearish pennant on the chart. That's what I'm trying to say. There's a bearish pennant right here. It broke down like right at the close. All I wanted to see, the only thing that I wanted to see to make me want to buy puts on BABA was a close below this alert. That's all I needed, right? Because the stock is already like really high, and I know all of these individuals on the left, all of the bulls who bought this ascending triangle. There's an ascending triangle from here, right? A bullish one that broke out. These people, they're all taking their money off the table. And anybody who's still in Baba is just being greedy, right? And or ignorant, especially after seeing this specific structure. That's a bearish structure at the top with a lot of room at the bottom. What should happen is a fall. That's what I think. All right. So watch this one for a drop down to, y'all see my alerts on the charts. I don't think I'm being too greedy. 112. I don't think that's, maybe it might be too greedy. I don't know. That's my first thought when I saw the structure 112. All right. But for this video, I'm just gonna say watch it for a drop to 120. It might exceed expectations. If it does, great. Short sellers will rejoice. But for now, this is what we got. Watch Baba for a drop. Okay. Now let's do let's answer some of you guys' questions. Somebody asked me to look at UPS. Now, what's going on with UPS? This is terrible price action. Oh my goodness. Yeah, horrible price action. You don't want to be a trader here. Like you really don't. There's no structure here. There's nothing, right? Because the stock collapsed through earnings. And this is one of these scenarios where we chop sideways and we go nowhere until the next earnings report, which will be on the 23rd of April. All right. Yes, there is a big gap here. Is it going to get filled? I definitely think so, because most gaps get filled at some point in time. Just like the one right here got filled, right? Expect this price action right here to happen once again right there. And then the next earnings might prop the stock up a little bit just to fill that gap, and then it's going to play the same game. I'm not trading the stock. So to the person who asked about it, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of UPS. Yes, it has contracts. Yes, it's over $100, right? But the way it's moving, not that appealing to me. The volume is low. I don't like it. So I'm not touching it. The next stock that we're going to look at the stock for from yesterday's video, which was Microsoft. All right. And I did tell you guys that I had calls on Microsoft for this reason, right? So I bought calls on here. I'm looking for a move up to 400. It opened at 398 or 399, and then it started to dump. I sold my calls. I broke even on them 8 minutes after the market opened because that first candle wasn't what I was looking for. And the break below 397, that was the line for me. That's where I'm out. It's not doing what I wanted to do. All right. Therefore, I just immediately leave the stock and look for something else, or just wait until the close to trade the next best thing. And to me, the next best thing was Baba, right? Which I just told you guys I have puts on. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. In regards to Microsoft, let's see how that turned out. Microsoft looks bearish still, like QQQ. Yeah, the situation is looking quite fragile. Again, support right here. If it opens tomorrow at like 385, these individuals that are supporting the market from here and here, I think they're gonna panic. I think. All right. And speaking of, since we're all talking about the sell-off and all that, we have to look at the VIX because it's been a while. I made, in the last video, I talked to you guys about why I think the VIX could spike in one of the shorts. And so far, the VIX is spiking. And this, again, is the reason why the VIX is spiking. The bullish pendant on the chart is still behaving. So we might see that $28 after all for the VIX. We might actually see it. Especially if we see that dump on the Dow Jones. Like I told you guys earlier. It's behaving on the daily. Right, the trend hasn't broken. It's still above 19, right? As we move higher and higher, the stop loss used to be at 17. Slowly we creep that thing up over time as it's moving, right? And then eventually it's gonna peak and then it's gonna fall. And I think that it's going to peak between like 28 and 30 because this thing can be a little wild. So this is a fear index for people who don't know what the VIX is. When this thing rises, all of the indices collapse. All right, that's what I'm trying to get to. So that's my thoughts on the VIX. Now, The next stock that we're gonna look at, the last stock that we're gonna look at is Tesla. Because Tesla opened higher today, but unfortunately it just couldn't hold its gains and it started to sell off. I thought it would do a little bit better than this, but it's unfortunate. First, people who bought calls over the weekend made some money. A little bit of money, more like 25%. And then it just grinded and grinded, and then it collapsed right here in the middle of the day when QQQ and SPY had their bearish pennant breakdown. All right there. All right. So now the only thing that is worrisome for a lot of traders is the stock gonna fill that gap at 250? If everything collapses, there's a high likelihood that it actually would. All right. I thought this was the bottom. I think 274 is a great price for long-term investors to start buying in. If you're a leap buyer, again, this is a phenomenal price to start averaging in on leaps. Could it go down a little bit? Maybe. All right. But it's still at a phenomenal discount. Long-term, I think it's going to be much, much higher than what it is now. By the end of the year, I think it's going to get like really, really high. It's just a matter of timing that entry and timing the bottom. The bottom is near. I think the bottom on the market is really, really near. So again, approach these stocks day by day. Be very cautious, manage your risk. All right, that's my honest thoughts on all of these stocks. And that is the end of the video. Do not forget to annihilate the like button as always. I make these videos from Sunday to Thursday at exactly 8 p.m. Central Time. So definitely click on that subscribe button right there. And click on that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on future uploads. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community where you can get all of this information in real time as I see them, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. Don't forget to follow me on social media at Paul and Goodman at Patternology Lab on Instagram and on X. And lastly, to get some free stocks with Webull, you can use the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in tomorrow night's video.